All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the MaxAudience Google monthly live webinar GoToMeeting Google Hangout thing. I got the Google guy.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, it's not really breakfast, but we'll call it what we want to call it. If you can't see the screen and you hear us, call us on the 800 number. It's 888-744-1222 to get help. And we'll just kind of kick it off and let it go with Google now. So
fantastic. Let's get started. And certainly we want to thank Mark for having us on board. I believe some introductions are in order for those of you who may not be familiar with us. My name is Chetan. I'm an agency development manager here at Google. Essentially, the purpose of our team is to provide high-level support to top-tier agencies like MaxAudience. With me is our team's account strategist, Mike Fitz. And Mike, could you give us an overview of what you do?
Sure, yep. Basically, I work with Mark and team on any of the priority accounts that come through to maximize the efficacy of the campaigns. So if lead generation is what we're looking for, we make sure we're bringing the right processes to bear. Branding is what we're looking for. We can make sure that we tailor the campaigns to that regard. Long and short of it is that me and Chetan work directly with MaxAudience to provide high-level support for all of the strategic accounts that they bring to us.
Correct, and we know that the focus today is B2B. That's our audience that we're speaking to today. So we have prepared some really interesting items that we want to share with you guys, some marketing trends, and ultimately to present to you that MaxAudience is essentially one of the top tier agencies that we do work with. That's the entire focus of why we have these video conferences, is to showcase and to leverage their relationship with Google. Certainly, this is a very exclusive program. We don't coordinate with just any old agency. The Google Partners badge is reserved for those agencies that have shown to complete stringent campaign performance requirements and the highest level of expertise in order to obtain that coveted Google Partners badge, which MaxAudience has secured. So we're going to talk about some of those basic points today. Normally, we would be able to see and kind of maybe go around the room and get some names of those who may be listening in. Certainly, we want to invite you guys to coordinate with MaxAudience on that. If you have questions at any point during this presentation, we do want to leave those doors open for that as we go through. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get started on the information. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up for you now. Okay, one quick second. Okay, and there we go. Everyone should be able to see this information, which is now presented on screen. Let me know if you don't. So what we want to do, certainly we want to take a couple quick moments and go through a basic high-level overview of AdWords. We know that there may be a few people out there who may not be completely immersed to the AdWords platform, so we'll go through a quick presentation on that side of things. And certainly we then want to kind of step up and get into some of the more advanced aspects of the platform, some of the more options that are open to the experienced advertisers that are, oh, we got another visitor. Fantastic. The more the merrier. Okay. Very good. So before I proceed, I just want to check, make sure no one has any questions there. Anybody? Nothing? Okay, let's move forward. All right. So the agenda. Today we want to talk about digital advertising, capturing the opportunity that lays before us there. Irrespective of what particular sector focus you have, we know that the Google advertising platform is a fantastic solution. Certainly we can get into the nitty-gritty of per vertical information. We do want to spend some time talking about that too. We want to talk about the overview of resources and options available to you and the benefits of working with a Google Partners agency such as MaxAudience. Okay, so part of that is getting into some of the key marketing trends that we know of based on Google data. Why online? Okay, I assume at this point we don't have to have a conversation about the internet. We know that everyone uses it. We know that it's sort of the ubiquitous model for engagement vis-a-vis how people find products and solutions now. Media consumption has changed. What we know is that people spend upwards of 2,422 minutes per week connected to their mobile devices. For those of you who are into math, that translates to about 40 hours per week on the internet. And keep in mind, that's taken as an average according to this independent study. So certainly usage may vary, but what we know is that 40 hours per week is certainly how people are engaging. The opportunity is there to connect with those who are seeking to find products and solutions that you offer. So right now, people are searching for your business, and it's certainly imperative that we show up so that they can find you.
Correct. I think this slide here about online advertising shows digital, so we know people are there. We know people are searching. We know people are looking. This speaks a little bit more to why Google. And if you look, 85% of user time is spent on the Google Display Network. Long and the short of that means is 85% of the time a user is online, they can encounter your ads, your messaging. 65% of the time when someone performs a searches for a product, that person is using Google search, so the market share is there. And now the last one is not necessarily Google driven, but 50% of all traffic is now encompassed by mobile. So it's no longer just I'm sitting down with my laptop, sitting down at my desktop. The smartphone and the tablet is really the new rule of the day.
Exactly, and that's really a game changer right there. 50% of all traffic being encompassed by mobile devices. So for those of you who are more experienced on the platform, maybe you've already tried an AdWords campaign on your own in the past, and if you aren't running mobile optimized ads, we're missing an opportunity there for people who are seeking for your business. So for me, the key takeaway for this slide is highlighting the idea that certainly the times are changing, and in order to maintain your success, we almost have to change with the times and sort of, fall into the parameters that other people are utilizing to maintain a cutting edge in terms of your success. And there's a fantastic quote down there: businesses that make use of the web are expected to grow 40% faster than businesses that don't. So I think we've made a clear case here for being online, certainly of which Google AdWords encompasses a majority of the traffic that is comprised in that arena. Okay. The Google ecosystem. When we talk about experts advertising, we often refer to a concept known as the zero moment of truth. And essentially what this refers to is the idea is that when someone sort of has their feelers out looking for your business, they may be coming at you from several different angles, of which we have the option to advertise within. Okay, Gmail is one of them. Gmail sponsor promotions. That's a capability that a MaxAudience has had. If you want to pursue people who are using their Gmail, we have that option. People who are using Google search, we have that option. YouTube, it's a not so well-known fact that the second largest search engine in the entire world is in fact YouTube. So certainly there's and you see it all the time, right? How many times are we bombarded with progressive commercials? I use that as an example all the time, and yet they have such a well-recognized name, and I think that points to the power of display advertising, sort of being there when people are searching and also being there when people are not. Excellent. Mr. Fitz, do you have anything to add on this slide?
Again, it speaks to really why Google. Every aspect of the online experience is encompassed in some way, shape, or form by a particular Google product. While we can't say 100% of people are going to be using these products, we can say that we have a phenomenal reach, and we do touch a large majority of folks.
Exactly, and you see more and more successful companies utilizing platforms that are maybe thought of as not as good as search. For example, YouTube, right? Maybe we would normally associate that with someone who's just kind of casually browsing, but at the same time, you see more companies that are approaching that arena from a professional standpoint, e-commerce, makeup, sports. I mean, there's really an arena there to connect with. People are people, right? It goes back to that old story about how the CEO he's going to read his news, he's going to check his Gmail, he's going to be on, looking on those news websites where we can show display ads. So it does come down to reaching people in what we call the zero moment of truth.
And working with Mark and his team, what we will not do is just put you willy-nilly on any of these arenas, right? What we do is we take a comprehensive look at where you want to be, what demographic is going to be, or what segment is going to be interested in your product or service, and then we can accordingly segment out those folks with our targeting options. So this is by no means a shotgun approach. This is much more laser focused.
Exactly, that's exactly correct. Well said. All right, very good. And again, this is just sort of summarized for those of you who may not be completely familiar with AdWords. It's quite simple. Someone gets online, they're typing in a search word to find your business, and this is where you can show ads, and people can click upon the ad to go to your website or to give you a call or whatever action it is you want them to take. This is where we can quantify that and reach them directly via the search term that they utilize. Cool. This is interesting for those of you who may be involved in the e-commerce aspect of your B2B. 88% of consumers research online first and then take action, such as buying in a physical store. So certainly there is the element of people who are, maybe we associate the internet with people who are just kind of browsing. That's not the case. They are going to do their research. They're going to take a look at what's open to them and then take action based on what they saw. That's the majority of people. So long story short, in working with MaxAudience, obviously you have the capabilities that they provide being a top-tier badged agency, working with you to achieve ROI, to achieve your goals, and ultimately to make sure that everything is as efficient as possible. Cool.
I think the takeaway for here is the measurability, and along with targeting. So, this is not something where we're going to throw something against the wall and hope that it sticks. We have availability to work directly with your account manager and show them where the clicks that are coming from that are resulting in conversionable actions. With B2B, lead generation is the name of the game, and to make sure that your leads are really quality leads, that's where the measurement and the targeting comes into play. So that's where my side of the coin comes into play, and me and my team will work with the account management team to ensure that we're dialing it as concisely as possible.
Exactly. Cool. Let me pause it here and just do another quick check in case there's any questions there from anyone or anything there. Nothing. Okay. Excellent. Moving right along here. Cool. So here's kind of the key takeaways from the basic segment of our presentation. Benefits of working with a Google partner agency. Campaign build best practices. Obviously, everyone has heard of online advertising at this point. Some of you may have actually gone ahead and started a campaign on your own. When you work with a Google Partners badged agency, they have passed very, very strict requirements in terms of performance, right? There's certain things you have to do in order to run a successful campaign. They're plugged into all of that in terms of campaign optimization, approaching every aspect of the campaign from pre-strategy all the way through execution, education and training, expert guidance with new tools. Perhaps you're already running a concurrent AdWords campaign with your marketing strategy, but working with them, you have access to a team that is certainly in the top rung of that entire arena. We here at Google, we see everything that we need to see in order to present to you the proper approach to a campaign. And in working with us, that's why we approach things from that standpoint. So MaxAudience has us as partners on their side to make sure that we keep them supplied with all the latest developments, any Google betas that come forward, to make sure that we're not missing out on any options that we have to drive maximum success for you, the end client. Cool. And then the final item there is strategic expertise in delivering ROI. That's the bottom line at the end of the day. Is are we making more money than what we're putting into our advertising campaign? And in working with MaxAudience, the answer to that question is certainly yes. Cool. All right. So that is the basic run through of AdWords there. Very cool. Let's move over here to thinkwithgoogle.com. Now we know that we're talking to an audience of B2B. Certainly, what we have open here is the marketing research think tank platform that was set up by Google. It's called Think with Google, and essentially what they do is they look at any of the most recent developments and capabilities from the Google platform. So it's sort of a summary that takes into account any strategies, case studies. If we see companies that are utilizing Google products and services in a way that is achieving great success, what we do is we put that information on here so that people can find it. I wanted to share with you a really interesting key B2B marketing stat. Points of influence for the path to purpose, and this is again available on thinkwithgoogle.com. For those of you who want to find this, by the way, quite simply, if you go to thinkwithgoogle.com, and what I did here was I went over here to industries, okay, and then you go click down here to business to business. You click there. Right here we see some excellent information, case studies, dynamic remarketing. You can subscribe and kind of get into that information there. Now, any solutions that you see here, maybe they make sense to you or maybe they don't, but you would be able to approach MaxAudience, and we would work with them to make sure that we have the ability to explore these different options and sort of discover what we can provide to you to go forward with advertising initiatives. Cool. Let me pull this up for you. Okay. So what Google did is essentially they did a consumer survey where they sort of tackled down to exactly how people are approaching businesses, right? This is a really interesting case study that we can hear. And what people reported by and large in this particular study was that YouTube encompasses 64% of approaching how-to videos, product visualization, so this may be ads for a new product. Makeup comes to mind. We've worked with several companies of that import here of recent. Entertainment, okay, Facebook encompasses 56% of that, as shown by the chart here. Pinterest is 56%. Google Search, 51%. Okay, so we have all these different aspects of approaching, and the great thing is that no matter how people are finding your business, there is some sort of solution that we can find on the Google side. If you're looking for calls, we have call-only campaigns. Okay, if you're looking to kind of have that ubiquitous mindset of product sort of reaching a wide audience at scale for a new launch or release, then we have YouTube, we have display. So certainly we have solutions available at every aspect of that.
And within all of these solutions, there is the granularity of targeting that is available. I use this one. If you want to show to males between the ages of 18 to 35 on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. until 3 p.m., probably not going to be super successful, but that's something that we can set the campaign to do. So again, it is very laser focused. We can go after the folks that you need to be in front of when they're utilizing their screens. That's the key takeaway.
Exactly. And display sometimes maybe gets a bad rep for maybe being too general. That's certainly not the case. You know, the robust targeting parameters available on display means we can get down to age, gender, zip code. Certainly not something to be
and if we're talking in the United States, we can actually drill down to median income as well. So again, we can get in front of those decision makers as they're perusing the web throughout their day.
Exactly true. Very good. Talking about programmatic, now this is a more high-level approach to advertising. This is certainly for you expert advertisers out there. Essentially, when we talk about programmatic, we're talking about an ad strategy that has been in development now for several decades, essentially automatic advertising, right? We can talk about a remarketing list for search ads. Not many people know that you can actually do video remarketing vis-a-vis YouTube. So in exploring programmatic solutions such as dynamic search ads, what we have available is a wide range of solutions that can essentially auto-create ads from your website. These are high-level product solutions for those of you who maybe have already explored search, already explored display. What more can you do to sort of, you know, either increase conversions or lower your CPA? This is where we'd approach this kind of strategy vis-a-vis in conjunction with MaxAudience. So there's some great case studies there that certainly go through different company types. I highly recommend you check into it. I won't go through this entire slide. This is a 50-page presentation based on programmatic case studies. But that might be very cool, and you can find that within the Think with Google archives there. Cool. So in summary, kind of getting back to the entire focus of this presentation, obviously the reason why we're having this presentation is because we have such a great relationship with MaxAudience. Okay, so that's, you know, not every agency has access to Google representatives who are able to present with them over video conference. So we certainly leave the door open for any kind of Q&A on that side of things. I believe there's a circumstance right now where we're not able to see or communicate with our end clients there, but we leave that door open there. Cool. Mr. Fitz, would you like to add anything in closing?
You know, it's realistically the main message here, and I know I've said it and I will say it again, is we can get in front of those people who are making decisions about your services when you need to be in front of them. Whether it's engaging them directly on search, whether it's branding on display, whether it's placing your product videos on relevant websites or getting them to peruse your catalog through like box ads. There's various methods we have to target them. And all of that can flow through MaxAudience. That's why we're here. We're throwing our full weight behind marketing team because they meet the threshold, and we want to make sure that you know they have our full confidence.
And endorsement. Fantastic. Okay, well that wraps up our side of things. If there's no questions, we want to thank you guys for your time. We'll certainly be in touch with MaxAudience going forward here. Anything else on your guys' side there, Mark?
I just want to thank you guys for showing up here and helping us out and having a conversation. And hopefully we'll do it again next month, and we'll have more question and answer there. We'll set it up a little bit better for our clients so they can ask you questions directly. One of the things that I want to tell everybody is the great thing about AdWords and the display network is it's a consistent, kind of fast way to generate prospects that are ready to buy now. And so when you have a situation where you want to generate leads quickly and you want those folks to be ready to buy kind of toward the bottom of the funnel, ready to make a decision, this is a great way to generate leads. It's consistent. There's a large group of people, and it's a good rampable way that you can generate a lot of good prospects that are ready to go.
Yeah,
excellent.
AdWords success is definitely scalable, right? We figure out what works and then we run with it.
Excellent, Mark. I couldn't have said it better myself. Very good. Well, I'm going to be jealous of that very good beach behind you there in that picture, and we hope to talk with you again soon, Mark.
All right, man. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye now.